So this passage we have Pullo and Varenus, which is something that we read last year. And I have written in my notes that it parallels to Sabinus and Cotta. That might be a good essay question on leadership.
I do not remember. What was general stuff about Sabinus and Cotta?
Okay, so our first verb is errant. Okay, then we have prepositional phrase. Then what are fortissimi weary doing? Nominative. Nominative. What about centuriones? Nominative. Then we got a relative clause. How do I know it's a relative clause?
Qui.
Okay, qui in the subjunctive makes it what kind of relative clause? Relative clause of characteristic. Okay, so, Annabelle, how do I know whether this premise or dinibus is dative or ablative?
The verb.
Okay, the verb takes the... It does. It takes the dative. Okay, and here's their names.
Okay, people get named in this all the time, but it usually doesn't say their name is or they were named. It's usually just kind of them in the nominative, and then just next to it is just their names in the nominative.
Maybe he didn't know what their names were and had to go back and look it up later and then be like, oh yeah, go back and stick their names in there. Well, I think at this point, in this particular instance, he's trying to emphasize the fact that they were the bravest men in their legion. And their names were secondary to the fact that they were the bravest men in their legion.
Ooh, look at you there. You know. Structure.
I'm sure someone got their PhD on the fact that, he emphasized the bravest men, their characteristics rather than their names. Okay. Allison,
Yes.
go for it.
Okay, this is what I have. There had been the strongest men, centurions.
How about there were?
That's what I had when you said it was okay. So there were.
There were. Okay, the bravest men, centurions.
Who were approaching the first order.
What about in ea legione?
Oh, in that legion.
Yeah. Okay, so there were the bravest men in that legion, centurions who were,
Approaching the first order.
approaching the first order. So, kind of what happens. You know how we talked about they crowded up the back of the rank. The ranks crowded up the back of the rank so that they couldn't flee. Remember we talked about that last week with the Romans. Okay, so usually how it's, I don't know how much you know about like Revolutionary War battle tactics. Yeah, Titus, Pullo, and Lucius Varenus. Okay, then we got nominative, right? Okay, Allison.
These men constantly had controversies between them.
These men were having, perpetual controversies among themselves. Okay, then it sets up an indirect question.
The word phenom does?
No, well, yeah, kind of. Which means which, what. Okay, so which, I guess in this case it'd be who, because we're talking about two people. Who was being preferred. Meaning like who was better.
I actually stuck that at the end.
Okay.
I said,
Yes.
Antiparator is in its subjunctive,
Yes.
right? And queenum is, could you technically call that a relative causal characteristic describing the controversy that they were having?
What sort of person was to be preferred? Yeah.
Like perpetual controversies about who was to be preferred.
Yep. Yeah, it also says likely an imperfect deliberative subjunctive. Well, but I don't think that they were having, hold on, back to your relative clause of characteristic. Usually the relative clause of characteristic describes a type or kind of person. So then they weren't describing like the type of ideal person that was to be preferred.
So
Right.
it generally refers to a specific person.
Uh-huh.
Just any noun.
Yeah. So, but I guess what I'm saying is, so this one refers to an actual, like, person. Like one of the two of them, not anybody in the Roman army. Does that make sense?
And then the deliberative subjunctive, is that just to show like uncertainty?
Uh-huh. And I think they're introduced by Queenom.
That's saying that would have went into deliberative subjunctive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like only the word queen on.
I'm pretty sure, no, not only the word, they usually are quin. Didn't we talk about quin in the subjunctive?
I think we did.
We did. What?
But this is like quin with on the end of it. I don't know. I don't have a phone to look it up, but look up quin in the subjunctive. I really don't think I'm like lying about that. Okay, so okay, finish translating this one for us. Okay, and
Who is better? And every year they were struggling in rivalry.
in every year, yeah, they were struggling. Where did you get rivalry? Oh, I see it. Okay.
Rivalry concerning the highest positions.
So Sumas should go with Loki's. Yep. Ooh. I can't tell you how many times I translated that, and I got. Okay, so that goes here. So this is like an ablative of manner. Well, no, this is an ablative of respect. They were contending in respect to rivalry about the highest spots. Okay, one thing to not get screwed up on this next part is don't make Pullo ablative. Realize the Pullo is nominative. That's the dude's name. So Dr. McFadden, who was given this whole reading seminar deal, was hilarious. He's an AP reader, and so he put up like hilariously mistranslated things on the AP exam. Some of them were awesomely hilarious. And one of them was people used Pullo in the, well, somebody translated it as chicken, which is pullus. In the ablative. He was like, you just wonder, like, did they even read this? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So don't be that kid. And I'm just going like, oh dear God, I hope it's none of these people. Okay. Abel, you're not going to ruin my record here.
I was just telling someone that the other day.
You're not going to ruin my record.
I was like, I hope I don't ruin this bad.
You're not going to ruin my record. Right? Right.
Is that a threat or like?
No worries, it's not you two, or is it like you're not?
It's like, hey, you're not.
I mean, take it however you feel the need to take it, but
So I kind of left Pullo out until I used and with.
okay. I agree with that.
From these
Hold on. Can we go back to
Yes.
now? I only have, and every year they were struggling with the greatest placement or something.
In respect to rivalry concerning who was holding the highest places.
From these things.
Mm-hmm.
So this next part, it's not in this sentence, but when it was taught by them fiercely and by the multitudes.
When it was fought most fiercely at the, it's not multitude, it's at the, like the battle line or something like that.
Okay.
At the battle lines. He said, he being Pellucid,
Why are you hesitating? Or what causes you to hesitate?
yeah, why are you, why are you hesitating? Varenus?
And what location do you expect of your valor going to be proven? Yeah.
Or, okay, so I think, or, what place what place of proving your manliness do you expect? Or like, are you waiting for?